What does it take to carve your name into the annals of history when the world is designed to keep you in the shadows? And what happens when two of history's most powerful and ruthless women, one an Egyptian queen who seduced the Roman Empire, and the other a Chinese empress who rose to power by crushing her enemies, are compared head-to-head? Wu Zetian and Cleopatra didn't just survive, they thrived, through ruthlessness, cunning, and unyielding ambition. But who was more ruthless? Both women ruled in eras when the world belonged to men. But how did their rise to power, methods of ruling, and ultimate legacies compare? Wu Zetian, China's only female emperor, built an empire of fear and loyalty through calculated violence. Cleopatra, Egypt's last queen, wielded seduction and alliances like weapons. Today we'll look into their paths to power, expose some of their most chilling acts, and decide who truly ruled with the sharper edge. Let's start by analyzing Wu Zetian, the only female emperor of China, and ruthless she was. From concubine to emperor, Wu Zetian's rise began in Emperor Taizong's court. Initially from a lower-ranking family, she was selected as a concubine of Emperor Taizong of the Tang dynasty. After his death, she maneuvered her way through the palace to become empress, later taking the title of emperor herself, something no woman had ever done before. Her ambition was unstoppable. She allegedly strangled her own infant daughter to frame Gaozong's wife, Empress Wang, for the crime. The empress was deposed, and Wu Zetian took her place. Eliminating rivals with precision, Wu Zetian wasn't just ruthless, she was methodical. She created a network of spies to root out dissenters. Historical records recount the copper box, a device she installed to receive anonymous accusations against her enemies. A chilling example. Wu Zetian's brutal treatment of her sons is infamous. She exiled one and forced another to commit suicide, all to ensure her authority went unchallenged. When her eldest son plotted against her, she didn't hesitate to have him poisoned. A legacy of power and fear. Despite her brutality, Wu Zetian stabilized China during her reign, expanding its borders and promoting meritocracy. Her ruthlessness wasn't aimless, it was the foundation of her empire. And now let's analyze Cleopatra, the master of political seduction. Cleopatra VII was born in 69 BC in Alexandria, Egypt. Daughter of Ptolemy XII, she was of Greek Macedonian descent, with an intricate family history marked by power struggles and assassinations. Raised to rule, Cleopatra was educated in philosophy, astronomy, and languages, becoming fluent in several, including Egyptian, which was rare for a Ptolemaic ruler. Climbing the throne amid bloodshed, Cleopatra's life was defined by her powerful relationships. Her marriage to her brother, Ptolemy XIII, was politically necessary but fraught with tension. Soon, her notorious love affair with Julius Caesar began, leading to a son, Caesarion. Following Caesar's assassination, she aligned herself with Mark Antony, solidifying her political position. Cleopatra used her lovers to solidify Egypt's independence against Roman imperialism. Cleopatra's ascent wasn't just about charm, it was drenched in blood. When she became queen, her brother and co-ruler, Ptolemy XIII, sought to eliminate her. Cleopatra fought back, aligning herself with Julius Caesar, who helped her reclaim her throne. But her ruthlessness didn't end there. The elimination of siblings. Cleopatra saw family as the greatest threat to her power. After defeating Ptolemy XIII, she reportedly had her younger sister, Arsinoe, executed in the sanctuary of a temple, a move so shocking that it outraged the Roman public. Manipulation of Rome's power. Cleopatra's relationships with Caesar and later Mark Antony weren't purely romantic, they were calculated alliances. She used her influence over Caesar to strengthen Egypt's position and even had a son by him to secure her legitimacy. After Caesar's assassination, she seduced Antony, leveraging their relationship to gain military support and fend off Roman domination. A ruthless gambit that failed. When Antony's forces were defeated by Octavian, Cleopatra considered aligning with Octavian himself, even as Antony's loyalty to her remained unshaken. Ultimately, she chose suicide over capture, but not before she tried to ensure that her children's future was protected, another calculated move to preserve her dynasty's legacy. Next, let's compare their ruthlessness. Methods of consolidating power. Wu Zetian, eliminated enemies with direct violence even within her own family. Her use of spies and brutal punishments created a reign of fear. Cleopatra focused on political manipulation using charm and alliances to destroy threats. Her ruthlessness was indirect, but no less lethal, especially toward her siblings. Treatment of family. Wu Zetian allegedly killed her infant daughter and orchestrated the deaths or exiles of her sons to maintain control. Her family was a means to an end. Cleopatra orchestrated the execution of her sister Arsinoe and ensured her brother's defeat, viewing them as obstacles to her power. The scale of their ambitions. Wu Zetian. Her ruthlessness was rooted in long-term visions for China. She reshaped the empire's political structure and expanded its borders. Cleopatra. While her ambitions were grand, they were primarily tied to preserving Egypt's independence and her dynasty's survival. Their legacy and perception. Wu Zetian. Feared and respected, she remains controversial in Chinese history. Her legacy is a mix of administrative brilliance and bloodshed. Cleopatra. Romanticized and vilified. Cleopatra's image in Western culture often overshadows her political cunning and ruthlessness. And now for the ultimate question: who was more cold-blooded? Wu Zetian and Cleopatra wielded their ruthlessness differently. Wu Zetian's direct methods, murder, espionage, and terror, left a trail of fear that cemented her power in the vast Chinese empire. Cleopatra, on the other hand, used psychological warfare, seduction, and alliances, manipulating the Roman Empire itself. So, comparing the two, who deserves the crown of history's most ruthless queen? The empress who ruled through fear, or the queen who mastered the art of manipulation? Do you want to learn more about intriguing and, yes, polarizing leaders and how they shaped their empires? Hit the subscribe button to glimpse into the world of powerful leaders, fascinating civilizations, and unforgettable historical events.